Good morning. So today we're going to talk about arc angles, okay, central angles and arc measures, okay. So remember, a central angle is, get my little circle in here. Okay, so central angle is the angle with its vertex is at the center, okay. So the vertex would be at the center. It's not really the center, is it? Okay, and then and its sides are radiuses here. Okay, so we could call this A, B, C there. Let's call this some point over here. A, B, C, D. Okay, so remember, central angle is where the vertex is at the center point. Okay. One thing to know is that all of the central angles add together to be 360. Okay, so all central angles in a circle okay. So central angle ABC plus central angle what? So plus the central angle ADC, those would add together to be 360. Okay, so the degree of the arc formed by the endpoints of a central angle is equal to the degree of the central angle. Okay, so the degree of the arc formed by the endpoints of a central is equal to the degree of the central angle. Okay, so what that means is, let's just say that the arc, the measure of arc AC, let's just say that it was, that's a small angle, let's say that it was 54. Okay, so the measure of arc AC, remember we call it like that, is equal to 54. Okay, which means the measure of the arc, oops, I mean to put that notation there, the arc ADC, okay, would be 360 minus 54. Okay, so that'll be what? 306. Okay. All right, let's do some examples. Okay, let's do one here. Alright, so here's a circle with a center point C. Okay, I know one of the angles is 15 degrees. Okay, so that means the measure of the arc AB is also going to be 15 degrees. Okay, that is going to be a vertical angle, so also DE is also going to be 15 degrees. Okay, the arc here to AD there, remember all the angles should add together to be 360. So I've got 15 and I've got 15, right? So minus a 360 is going to give me 330. But then I'm going to divide it by 2 because these two right here are going to be the same. So I'm going to take 330 and I'm going to divide it by 2. So that means that AD is going to be 165. Also, the measure of BE is also going to be 165. Okay? Well, now if I was to look at ABE, that means this whole entire one, right? ABE. So 15 plus 165, so that's going to give me what? 180. Okay? Okay, let's do another one. Alright, so here I have a circle and I have lots of angles going on in here. So, but remember, all of them have to add together to be 360. Okay, so right here, inside here, remember that means that this would be a 90-degree angle. Okay, so that means the measure of the arc AB is also going to be 90 degrees. Okay, this is a DB, I'm sorry. The measure of angle DB, okay, so DB would be 34 plus what? Plus 90, which is going to be 124. Okay, BAD, so 90 plus 90. Okay, plus this little bit. So, and this little bit right here, we got to find, but that's 90 degrees, so 90 minus 34, so it's going to give me a 56 right there. So this is going to be a 56, okay? So 180 plus 56 is going to give me a 236. Okay, I'm going all the way from B all the way over here to D. Okay, so I have to add all those angles right there. Okay, the next one is to find, and I'm going to try to do another color. There we go, highlighter here. So the next one I want to find is EBD. Okay, so EBD means I'm going to be going this way. EBD and stop there. Okay, so basically what, 360 minus that minus that 56. So is that going to be 3 or 4? Okay, so each angle has to, or each angle in there has to add together to be 360. Okay, so what about this one here? So if I wanted to find x here, so if I wanted to find x, I know that these two basically are vertical angles, so those two things are going to be equal. So I'm going to say 8x plus 12 is going to be equal to 10x minus 22. Subtract your 10x, so you're going to get a negative 2x plus 12 is equal to negative 22. Subtract your 12, so you're going to get a negative 34. Divide both sides by negative 2. So x here is going to be equal to a 70. Okay, so now we're going to talk about arc length here. So arc length, there's a formula for that. So we have to know the degree measure of the arc. So x is going to represent the degree measure of the arc. Okay, and you're also going to have to know your circumference. Okay, remember we talked about that. Circumference is 2 times pi times your radius, or your circumference is your pi times your diameter. So you're going to have to know your circumference, but you're going to either be given your radius or your diameter, and you'll be able to find that. Okay, so the arc length is going to be the degree measure of the arc minus your circumference, and then that is going to be divided by 360. Okay, so x represents the degree measure of the arc, and c represents your circumference there. Okay, sorry, I don't know why I was saying minus, but we're going to multiply those two things together. Okay, let's get to the end of the semester. Okay, so let's do a problem here. So if I know the radius here of this circle is 8, okay, so BE right there is going to be 8, and I know that this distance here, okay, this measure of this arc here is 162, okay, then I'll be able to find the measure of AB, the measure of DC, the measure of BC, okay? But what I'm looking for is the arc length of BAC, okay? So I'm looking for the arc length of BA all the way around here to C. So that means I have to know x, okay? And what does x represent? The degree of the arc, okay? So I need to know the degree of all of that arc. Well, it contains that 162, but it also contains this AB here, and it contains this DC, okay? So 162 plus 162 over there, okay? So we would know this would be 162 as well, right? Okay, those are the same. So 162 plus 162 is 324, okay? Subtract that from 360 and you're going to get 36 degrees. Divide that by 2, and that is going to be what each one of these measures will be. Okay, so my x for my arc length here is going to be 18 plus 18 plus 162, which is a 198. Okay. All right, I also need to know my circumference. Okay, I know my radius, so it's 2 pi times your 8, which is your radius. So 2 times 8, so that's going to be a 16 pi. So now I'm going to be able to find the arc length. So remember it's x times c all over 360. So my x was 198 times c, which is 16 pi, and I'm going to divide that by 360. So 198 times 16 pi divided by 360 is going to give me an arc length of 27.646. I didn't have any units here, so but if it was in a lengths and everything are always in a unit. I didn't write it out. So let's just say it was 8 inches. Okay, so then that would be, your arc length would be in inches. Okay. Okay, so let's finish up your worksheets and you'll have a great, great day.